I am pretty like my ancestors. I am pretty, pretty, pretty like my ancestors. I am pretty, pretty, pretty like my ancestors. I am pretty like the golden hour. I glow of beauty, strength, and valor. I am pretty like my ancestors. I am pretty like my ancestors. I am pretty like my ancestors. I am the embodiment of my ancestors' beauty. Nobody can harm me. Our ancestors fought. They were able to continue to establish themselves even though they were harmed. They continued to look at themselves and say, I am pretty, so therefore my descendants are pretty. Hello everyone. This is the Angry Pan-Africanist, and today we are going to continue a journey of writing the human list, the healing and decolonization of the African diaspora within a white supremacist world. Hi. The first thing we are going to do is talk about some of the goals as an author that I am hoping to deliver. The first thing is to finish the human list before January 2025. And yes, we are currently in September 6, 2024. The second goal is to post every Friday and updates every other day on social media so that every single one of you know. The third thing is to create a strong stand on healing for the African diaspora so that we can reach the level of decolonization that we should have. The fourth thing is, look at my afro. Hey! I'm so proud of my ancestor. Look at this beautiful hair. Chapters will be separated into several sections, specifically colorism, texturism, stabilization of our countries and communities, the coons that we have within our communities, and the puppet slaves that we have in our communities, as well as the healing, the step by step that we need to do in order to ensure that we are healing, we are decolonizing, and our descendants as well as our children and future generation have a better standing point of this decolonization. And the talks of skin bleaching within the African diaspora and how it's harming us. I look pretty like my ancestors. I wrote this on August 31st, 2024, and I'm going to read it to all of you. I am pretty like my ancestors. I am pretty, pretty, pretty like my ancestors. I am pretty, pretty, pretty like my ancestors. I am pretty like the golden hour. I glow of beauty, strength, and valor. I am pretty like my ancestors. I am pretty like my ancestors. I am pretty like my ancestors. I am the embodiment of my ancestors' beauty. Nobody can harm me. Why is that important? Because as we already know, there is a pandemic of skin bleaching within the African diaspora. In the Caribbean, in many African countries, they don't like themselves. They don't like the way that they look. They don't like their skin tone. They don't know that the ancestors fought for that skin tone. They don't know that their skin tone is specifically there for a reason. And whenever they are hating themselves, you think, wow, they are really crazy, because you know the history of the ancestors. You know the history of many African descent all over the world, how they continue to fight, how we continue to fight. And how come you will hate yourself and think that your hair, your skin is wrong? That's the reason why I wrote this. I look pretty like my ancestors. I look pretty like all of the ancestors who have fought, who never give up on life, who continue to thrive. Sisters, they are important. And when we look at ourselves, and we look at colors, and when we look at textures, and when we look at our face structure, Afrocentric face structure, and we look at North Africa and all of the other African descent throughout the world, who have suffered. We recognize that our ancestors are great, are brave, and are beautiful. That's the reason why I wrote this. Let me say that again. This is the poem dedicated for colorism and the self-esteem of the African diaspora. I look pretty like my ancestors. I look pretty like my ancestors. I look pretty like my ancestors. I am like the golden hour. I glow of beauty, strength, valor. I am pretty like my ancestor. I am pretty like my ancestor. I am pretty like my ancestor. I am the embodiment of my ancestor beauty. Nobody can harm me. This is also like self-motivation, because again, this is what we need to do. Remember, our ancestors fought. They were able to continue to establish themselves even though they were harmed. They continued to look at themselves and say, I am pretty, so therefore my descendants are pretty. So you cannot bleach your skin or be around people who hate your skin and think that you are allowed to bleach it. And anybody who try to bleach it, kick them out of your life. Anybody who said to bleach it, kick them out of your life. Tell them and remind them of the ancestors' beauty. Tell them and remind them of healing. And tell them and remind them of this book, The Human List. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Continue to thrive. Continue to work hard. And if this video reach 1,000 views, I will be so proud and happy, and I will continue to work hard. And I also have my Patreon that I'm going to put right here, so that every single one of you can support and obviously see the progress that I'm making for this book. Continue to decolonize, continue to heal, continue to stay strong, continue to be brave like your ancestors, continue to grow, and don't forget to like, subscribe, follow for more.